Well, hi there. This is Craig Hain, or my students call me Dr. Dell. And on this video, I want to talk to you about something I learned when I was about 10 years old, over 70 years ago, that had a profound impact on my life in a very positive way and in many, many ways. In fact, I describe it in more detail in my long video about my life, but I want to tell you specifically about it. And I call it Plant a Seed or Invest in Yourself. That's planting a seed, is investing in yourself and believing in yourself. So that's what this is about. Now, the word faith, as I understand it, means having a strong belief in something. And I'll assume you know what it means to believe something. It's something you tell yourself that you think is really true. This is something I learned over 70 years ago. In the Bible, in Matthew 17:20, Jesus said the following: "Truly, I tell you, if you have faith like a grain of mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, quote, move from here to there, unquote, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible to you." Now, I was taught this by my Sunday school teacher there in York, and what did this really mean? What about moving a mountain? What do you mean moving a mountain? What's a mustard seed? What does all that mean? So he explained it to me. He said, Craig, look, where Jesus lived over in the Middle East at the time that he made this quote, the mustard seed was one of the tiniest, most insignificant seeds you could find, just a little bitty thing. But if you planted that mustard seed in fertile soil, it would grow up to be a big, tall, 10-foot strong tree, and it would do that in just a few months. Amazing. So there was something in that seed that would cause this to happen, to grow into this big tree. And that's what he referred to then as faith or belief. And he said, what you want to do, Craig, is you want to plant a seed in yourself, making yourself fertile soil. And all the things you've learned in the Bible is what makes you fertile soil. Love thy neighbor, golden rule, all that. And then believe in yourself. Believe that this belief you have somehow, in ways you'll never understand or be able to predict, will cause this seed you've planted to grow. And it'll become something really powerful. Craig, it's no limit to what you can do with your life. Now, you come from a poor family, you live in the woods, and so on and so forth. You don't have a phone, you don't have running water, all of it. But if you believe in yourself, great things will happen. And how do you believe in yourself? Well, he said, beliefs are not the same as desires. It isn't what you want, Craig, it's what you believe. So what I did, I took long walks and I daydreamed about things that would happen to me. I put myself, I believed I was in those situations, and then they would come to pass. Now, obviously, it has to be something that, to believe in something, it has to be something that's rational. I did not believe, for example, that I could jump 30 feet in the air. I knew that physically that was impossible, certainly on Earth, and I didn't believe in it. But I believed in a lot of things that really could happen, but I had no idea how they could happen. Now, one of the seeds that was planted very early, and I was very lucky in this. My Uncle Jack Davis, who was a barber and a builder, and I've told you this in my other stories, he taught me how to count. He used Cheerios, and then he used dimes and pennies, and he taught me the decimal number system when I was like about 5 years old. It's very easy to do that. You can teach most children to count when they're that young if you do it the way Uncle Jack did. And I have Uncle Jack videos that explain how he did it, so any parent can do it with their child. That gave me confidence. And I've told this story other place. When I went into the first grade, then I was the only child at that point in my first grade back in that era that could count to 100. And then my teacher enlisted me to help other children learn to count, which I did. And that really got me started wonderfully. I believed in myself. Now, what happened then, we had to do, and as I grew and learned more math from my Uncle Jack and then other things, and I tell this in other places, calculations or arithmetic calculations were always challenging, difficult, time consuming, error prone, and so on. And the scientific calculator came out in 1972. And I believed that if you use a scientific calculator, it would make doing engineering much, much easier because you could do the calculation with it. And I started teaching students that, and it was true. And as a matter of fact, the old-fashioned tools that were used up until that point in time became obsolete. The calculator became the tool for arithmetic calculations. And one of the things that I believe today for most students, if you have any interest at all in anything technical, cooking, farming, landscaping, mechanical stuff, hydraulics, all sorts of things, 1,000 things, one of the things you can do to invest in yourself is you can learn to use a scientific calculator. And you can learn it today. It's possible to learn it very, very cost effectively and easy for about $25, including the cost of the calculator, and 25 hours of your time approximately, depends on the student, some quicker, some slower. You can learn to use a scientific calculator. That is investing in yourself. That's planting a seed. When you invest in yourself, you're planting a seed in yourself that can grow into something, who knows what. Depends on what you believe in, what you want, and then what you believe in is what will happen. Now, if you learn to use a scientific calculator, what's going to happen is your self-esteem is going to go way up, your confidence in yourself. Your friends are going to be impressed. Your family will be impressed. Even your teachers will be impressed. Very few people today can use a scientific calculator effectively. It's not hard to do, really, if you've taught. And in fact, we have a program that you're going to learn about on this website where you're watching this video, probably in the future website. Okay. What many people can do then, if you're interested in anything technical at all, is you can go ahead and learn workforce math. Now, that goes beyond the calculator. The calculator lays the foundation. Then you learn algebra and geometry and trigonometry, basic trigonometry, in a practical way. Guess what? Today, you can do this for less than $200 in about 60 hours of your time. Again, it depends on the student. Some might do it quicker, some longer. In fact, I will show you a way you can do it for as low as $29 in about 30 days. If you really want to work diligently and do it, it can be done. I've had students do that. Well, this is a seed. You're planting a seed. First, learn to use the calculator. That's the first seed you plant. That will then grow. And by the way, if you don't know how to use a calculator, you can't learn this workforce math easily. You'll be stuck on just the arithmetic, and you probably won't learn these things. This, by the way, is what happens today in most of our schools. They're still teaching the old-fashioned way with manual tools. And you don't want to learn those old manual tools. They're obsolete. You don't need to learn them. So this is seed you're going to plant. Now, I learned this mustard seed message, Jesus's message, from Theron York in a Sunday school summer camp when I was 8 or 9, 10 years old. I don't remember the exact years, over 7 years ago. And I believed it. I believed it. And so I believe then in myself and things I could do. And of course in God. God is something that we don't understand very well, but it permeates all of us. And over the years, I planted lots of seeds. The calculator would be an example. I didn't do that when I was like you are, can do it today, because it didn't exist when I was young. I learned to use a slide rule, for example. That was a seed. I learned to use basic manual tools, which are hard to learn. Today we have modern tools, much easier. But over the years, I planted seeds, and it yielded a wonderful life. I mean, and I tell about that in my long video, my 37-minute video you can watch. Here's the point, the whole point of this. You can do it too. Believe in yourself, invest in yourself, plant seeds in yourself. So this is Dr. Dale, Craig Hain. This is my message to you. I think if you absorb this and understand it the way Theron York taught it to me, and if you believe it the way I did, you're going to have a fabulous life. It's going to be wonderful. So it's Craig Hain. I will probably see you on other videos, and I wish you to have a wonderful, very happy life.